You are Steve, a lone dwarven traveler on your way back to your humble abode in Moria. On the road you got ambushed by a group of wild orcs from Mordor. You escaped them, but you got lost in the process amongst the foul trees of Mirkwood. The next day you managed to get out of the forest and found yourself in a strange land with no memory of how you got there. You scout your surroundings. I don't see anything, you say. Well, I guess we're not going to find anything here. We'll have to be more careful, says another dwarf. Where the hell did you come from? I came through the forest. We saw some orcs run through here a little while ago. There might be others lurking in the trees, one of them answers. Orcs, you say? I've heard of them, but I've never seen one. It's a good thing we came across you, stranger. There's some bad orcs in these woods, the dwarf says. My name is Steve. I got ambushed by orcs not long ago and fled into this accursed forest. I am Balin. I saw you fighting the orcs. What were you doing here? Nice to meet ya, Balin. I was just traveling home to Moria when I got ambushed. I am pleased to meet you, Steve. I was going to Erebor to seek a friend of mine. I think we have visited this mountain before. May I join your squad until we reach a safer road? I was going to ask you to join us, Steve, but if you've already made up your mind, we are going the wrong way. I think I'll join you nonetheless. An adventure might be just what I need. Okay, Steve. We'll see you inside, one of them says and opens the door to the mine. You enter a small cave with a large fire and some dwarves sitting around it. You sit by the fire and listen to the conversation. Balin, I thought I heard a dwarf in here, one of them says. Where have you been? You were needed on the path immediately after Balin went into the mine, another says. The orcs have been a long way from the path. He should have an idea where we are, the first one says. He knows more than you think, brother. I have seen it, says Balin. What do you mean? Speak plainly, we don't have time for your riddles, another replies. I'm speaking plainly. I have seen it. This Balin has gone blind, says Balin. You're blind, but you just came in. We saw you. You even have a bandage over your eye. I know. It is a very strange thing. I will get it checked out when we reach the next town. What are you even talking about, you say? I'm talking about my vision. What do you think I'm talking about? You're blind. That's what you're talking about. This conversation is going nowhere, you say. When are you planning to leave for Erebor? We are leaving tomorrow. What? But we don't have the supplies. What about my supplies? You can come or not. It's your choice. You're not part of this team. I will go with you, Balin, you say. What? But how will you? I mean, you can't expect. I can and I will. And if you don't like it, then you can leave too. I have nothing to lose. The conversation got even more confusing as the time went on, so you decided to get some rest before departing for Erebor in the morning. When you wake up in the morning, you see Balin and his dwarves are preparing to depart. You grab your stuff and run over to him. Hey, where are you going? We are leaving. You're not coming? I am coming with you, you say. Just thought we could have a nice breakfast first. We can't. This is a one-way trip. Come on, you're still too weak. We have to find the right stuff that will get you back up. You decide it might be smarter to follow the dwarves. You follow the dwarves as they descend deeper and deeper into the mine. Balin, where are you going? I thought we'd head further into the mountain, you say. We are. We need to head all the way to the base of the mountain. It's the only way. It's the only way to get to Erebor, you say? Yes, the only way. You continue to follow the dwarves as they move at a slow pace through the mine. You turn on a lantern and begin to look around. You pass by a group of dwarves working. One of them notices you. Hey, there's a man down! You turn around and see one of the dwarves you were with earlier lying on the ground, apparently having fainted. You rush over to him and shake him. Can I get some help over here, you say. A female dwarf runs over to your aid. Hey, what's wrong with him? I don't know. He just fainted while on watch. I'm going to check his pulse. You feel his pulse. What happened? He was just on watch. Yes, and he looked fine. His pulse is normal. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe he tripped and hit his head. I don't know. We were mining together and he seemed fine. Maybe he had a heart attack. That's impossible. We don't have any medical supplies down here. You try to wake up the dwarf. You shake the dwarf. Wake up! Wake up! The dwarf opens his eyes slowly and looks up at you. I'm awake. What happened? You say. We got attacked by a group of goblins. They came out of the walls. Why didn't you wake me up? There was no goblins, you say. You just fainted as we were walking. Are you sure? I look fine until... That's impossible. We have to inform the chief. The dwarf runs off and you notice another group coming up. You say, where did Balin go? He went to get help. What? He left you all by yourself? Yes. He said he would be back soon and that you could inform the chief. You say, who is this chief you keep mentioning? The chief is the leader. If there is trouble, I am to inform him immediately, and he will decide what to do. At this point, more dwarves arrive and you explain your situation. One of them walks over to you. What's going on? You say, I have no idea. I was traveling with a group of dwarves to Erebor and got left behind as I was trying to help a fellow dwarf who fainted while working. Okay, from what you've said, it sounds like a goblins attacked. How could you know that? There were no signs of goblins, just the normal orcs. I've worked here for over 50 years, and back in the day when the goblins first came, I was the one of the first to take them on. You decide it might be smart to search for goblin tracks. You begin to search the area for any signs of goblins. Do you think we should inform the chief? Yes, you go inform the chief, you say. I'll continue looking for any signs of goblins. Okay. The dwarf runs off and you search the ground for tracks. This is a shame. If I had known that this was a gold mine, I would have stayed in it for another week. What does it matter, you say? There might be goblins lurking around. You continue to search for any signs of goblins. Look over here, one of the dwarves shouts. You turn around and see a group of about 5 goblins hiding behind some trees. Now is the best time to attack, you think to yourself. You pull out your axe and attack the goblins. You run forward with your axe swinging. The goblins disappear. Now, we don't want to ruin the ambience for the other miners. Who said that? You shout. I did, the dwarf who was arguing with you earlier. You didn't. I did. He was closer to the trees and therefore attacked first. What are you even talking about, you say? And how the hell are there trees in the mine? I'm talking about the trees growing over the mine entrance. Didn't you notice it when we came in? You look around and the trees are indeed rather large. This is getting weirder by the second, you say. I need to find Balin and his group. You walk over to the trees and begin to hack at them with your sword. It is harder than you thought to destroy such things. Can you help me destroy these trees? I don't know, but I'd be happy to just stand here and watch you do it. Much help you are, you mutter under your breath. You begin to hack at the trees until they are small enough to jump over or under. The trees are small, but they add up and still quite the job. Why didn't you just do this in the first place? You saw the entrance to the mine. Didn't you think I would need to get in? I suppose you had to be sure. You look around for any signs of Balin and his group. You have no idea where to start looking for this group of dwarves, so you begin to wander the mine while thinking about who you should contact about all of this. It feels like I'm walking in a dream, you say. Perhaps I have been enchanted by an evil wizard. You begin to look for any signs of an underground river. Maybe this is just all part of some elaborate dwarf joke. You have no luck in finding anything until you look down and see something flashing. You pick up the object, a golden ring. What the hell is this? Have we found something? A voice says behind you. You hide the ring in your pocket. Who is that? You say. Balin. I'm Balin's friend. And what are you doing here, Balin's friend, you say. I'm helping Balin and his group escape from the goblins. Escape? Why? Did something happen? No, not really. The rest of the dwarves are getting restless about leaving this place, and things got a bit out of hand in the bar when they started throwing tables and chairs around. That sounds like fun, you say. The dwarf laughs and says, well, it wasn't entirely bad for the barroom brawls. We have broken up a few fights between dwarves, but we haven't done that in a long time. You tell the dwarf to leave you alone. The dwarf says, can I ask you why you're here by yourself, amongst a group of dwarves? I'm just exploring, I guess. The dwarf nods and looks at the ground. You leave the dwarf and look for some privacy. You try to look for somewhere you can meditate and get your bearings. Suddenly, you're hit by a large falling rock. You're in the middle of a cave-in. You run as fast as you can. You begin to hear goblins coming from all directions. You run as fast as you can, and soon you find a small crack in the wall that you manage to squeeze through. Now that you have some privacy, you finally examine the ring. You hold the ring up to a small bit of light that comes in through the crack. You make out the image of an eye, like that of a pinnacle. You wear the ring. The goblins, upon seeing you wear the ring, quickly start to surround you and laugh. You begin to feel like a fool. Suddenly, the goblins stop laughing. "What do you want from me?" you demand. "Nothing, human. The ring has protected its wearer well. We were just testing its abilities," a goblin says. "Then what do you want?" "Well, we need someone to give us somewhere to sleep, so we can be fully rested for our journey in the stronghold of the leader of the dwarves." "What? Where's this going?" you ask. "We want you to take us to see the king." You're too surprised to say anything. "What? Why?" you ask. "It's quite simple. We want to explain to him why we should stay and help the dwarves in their war against the elves." "Why don't you want to do this alone?" "I tried, and I was killed." You begin to worry. "This ring has great powers, but it's also very useful. Take it off if you don't want help." "I don't want to take it off," you say. "It's my precious." You put on the ring. The goblins seem satisfied with your answer and continue talking. "There are some who want to take it off, but they are too cowardly to do it," one of the goblins says. "Wait," you say. "Is there more rings like this?" The goblins look at each other and whisper among themselves. One of them whispers back, "Another ring has been found, but it is not here yet. We don't know where it is or who has it." "Well," you say, "should we go look for the ring bearer then?" The goblins are a little surprised that you knew about the ring bearer, who is an orc, not a goblin. "Yes, he goes where the rings go," the goblin says. "And where is that?" you ask. "I don't know. I'm just a humble goblin," the goblin says, annoyed. "Don't be so modest. You must know somewhere in your underground dwellings where the ring bearer goes." "Actually, we don't have such a thing." You look around and see the walls of the cave are beginning to disappear. A slight wind picks up and dust begins to enter your lungs. "What is going on?" you say. The goblins stop talking and stand still. You notice that the walls of the caves are gone, and you are standing on the surface of the moon. "What is this? What are you doing?" you ask. The goblins point at you and laugh. "You don't recognize, you do, human?" "No. What is going on?" you say. You begin to feel weak, dizzy, and lightheaded. The goblins laugh as they begin to step towards you. You fall down to the ground. You feel two hard thuds on your back. "No," you think as your vision fades. You hear the goblins laugh and talk as they dig through your pockets, take your ring, and leave you on the cold ground to die. The last thing you hear is one of them say, "Well, I guess we just killed ourselves some dinner."